Hey everyone, welcome to Power Tips. We're continuing our review of the 2024 Release Wave 1 notes, and we're getting close to the release date. Remember, these are going to start rolling out April 1st, 2024 to existing production environments. So you need to be paying attention now and testing these things in a dev environment and figuring out what you need to do to be prepared when these go live. And so today we're talking about Power Apps. Let's keep in mind some of these things are going to apply for your Dynamics 365 environments too, because we're talking about Dataverse, right? We're talking about model-driven apps. So one of the things I called out is the Power Platform Environment Settings app. This is, we're used to some things still having to go to the classic maker and then some things having the new behavior, but now we're getting a whole app where everything will be together in the modern experience. So lots of exciting enhancements coming for administrators. I also saw for our administrators, we have things for makers as well to develop, to send makers to their own development environment. Instead of like the default environment. So lots of things continuing to come to just modernize our administration and modernize all of our maker experiences. Heidi, any thoughts about this guy?
I think this is so overdue. It's so hard to train new people to Power Apps or Dynamics where to make your system changes. And
Yeah,
this is
when they're going
great.
back
It's
and forth.
standardizing it. I'm certain it's still going to open Classic on some settings, just like the Power Platform Admin Center does today. But it's nice to just be able to direct people, just go here. Just go to this one spot.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what this looks like because I see the setting, but they didn't show us what the actual behavior looks like yet. So I'm interested to see what that's like and if it's all if some of it's still within the admin center or if it's actually another model-driven app like the customer service admin or, because then we still have two places. They're just two different places.
That is true. And this one is a little bit later out on the release notes, right? It's a public preview in July, and then the GA date is our favorite, TBD.
DBT. Oh,
So
yeah.
I've noticed through doing power tips, we get a lot of comments on people on like older videos saying, hey, where's this feature? And since we provide the links to everything, it's really interesting to see how many of them disappear. So I wonder if this one's going to make it with a TBA, general availability date. I hope it does.
Yeah, and that's a good reminder. If these are things that you are interested in, that you like and you want to see, make sure you are turning them on, that you're playing with them, that you're providing feedback, because that will help show Microsoft that these are things that are valuable and keep the investment there.
Yep.
Turn on the public preview in a lower environment. Don't turn it on in production, of course.
Good call.
Okay, the other one I wanted to call out is the auto form filling. And this one, it's not in public preview or early access, but it's going to be generally available in April. So what this is that I can, AI will suggest how to fill out the other fields on my form, and I'll have the ability to, accept items or change items or accept all at once. So lots of things to streamline the experience for your users, help make it easier to capture that data. Where is it getting this data? Not quite sure, but it's going to magically know some of this information. And I think we'll continue to see this improving in other areas, right? And improving with our integration and with Copilot. The other thing you'll notice on this screen is it looks a little bit different. So we also had announced a new look for model-driven apps. So, yesterday, today, right? Your app is very, very white, but they're introducing some more dimension back in, some more shading on the fields, and also I believe our color of the
Business
business
process
process
flow.
flow is changing. I think we talked about that in one of the dynamics videos. So, lots of things coming, and that's also going to be available in April. So, exciting things. What do you think about these things, Heidi?
I think this one's fantastic for decreasing the amount of time someone has to do manual data entry. And the first time I saw this, I was really excited. I think this is part of Copilot, correct?
I think, let's see, it is
'Cause-
part of our Copilot announcements in the release notes. So
Right.
I
So
do
if
you
this is
probably need a
part,
Copilot license.
right, and that Copilot is built on top of Microsoft 365 Copilot, so I would imagine this information is coming from anything in M365. So if you get an email from an email address, wouldn't that be cool if it prompts you to add all the information from like their signature? I
That
don't know
would
if
be
that's what
cool.
that would be cool magic. I like this one.
The
I like this one a lot.
announcement says suggestions generated by AI based on their frequently used data.
Uh,
So
so
we'll
not the
see.
magic we were hoping.
I don't know. We'll see. It also says only available in English right now. So just something to keep in mind for our worldwide viewers.
Perfect. I love it. All right, so you highlighted some really cool model-driven app items. I went into the Canvas app world, which this is interesting because some of this has been around for a really long time. But in the release notes under the Copilot section for Power Apps, it talks about use Copilot to build and edit apps in the Power Apps Studio. So create apps. We've seen this for a long time, right? It's a screenshot on there here. Public preview was October 2003. So there's nothing new here. It's just going GA very, very soon. What was newer is the ability to use prompts to edit existing apps. So it specifically calls out adding screens and controls, modifying properties, and linking to data. Also, it notes that this won't be everywhere, but it will be in a lot of areas. So those are all on the right-hand side here. And I thought I would kind of test drive this. In my mind, we would build one together on here. But it didn't work as expected. And I don't know if I just found like a weird use case. So I will share my experience. What I did was I built the app through Copilot. I just built a silly app, like a pet tracking app for a foster organization. And it made an app, and then I immediately tried doing these specific prompts that are listed on the release notes, and it didn't work. You could see on the bottom, these are my little Copilot things that are like, sorry, didn't do that. And then I was curious if I was doing something wrong. So I saved my app. I left classic IT fix, right? And then I opened it up again. And then I did the same things and it worked. So I don't know if I just got some weird thing. If you're wanting to play around with this, just create your app first, save it, and then do it. Because this all worked, except for add a button to my header. It says I can't do that because it doesn't seem related to Power Apps. But it was fun to play with. Have you done any of this, Kylie?
I haven't played with this recently. I think the last time I played with it, I had some of the same issues that you had. And I think at that time, kind of the advice we were giving is like, this is a great way to learn, but maybe not build a production app. So I think what we're
Yeah.
seeing now is a lot of these things are, especially if I can do it on existing apps and I can, do it work related to a specific item, right? Like you can say, look at this label and change the font size. Like I think that is making it more enterprise ready, or even if I can create that app in my solution and then start using Copilot to edit it, I think that'll be really helpful, for people like us we know the basics, we want to build the data model ourselves maybe, and we want
Hmm.
to set that all up, and then we want to come in there and maybe have some help with our formulas or our galleries. I think this is really paving the way for that. That will really, save us a lot of time. So I'm excited to play with it more. I have an app I
Awesome.
need to create, so um, I'll have to try
Yeah.
it out.
And there were a lot of other Copilot updates in the Power Apps release notes. We just kind of picked some that we thought were interesting. I picked this one because we've spent so much time on it in prior sessions, and I thought it would be fun to check it out again. Was there anything else that you wanted to call out that you saw in the release notes?
Yeah, I think we also had an item about visualizing your complex data using Copilot. I don't think we have. Oh, hey, look, you have it up. Yeah, I don't think we have too much data about this one. We don't have a screenshot yet, but we'll be able to potentially create multiple tables at the same time, visualize in like an ERD style. So, kind of what I
Hmm.
was just saying is, well, I might create my data model outside, create it myself. But as they continue to improve that data to Copilot functionality, I think it'll be really interesting to see if I can get all the relationships I need, and can I pull in existing tables? Can I build those relationships that I need? I think that'll be really interesting. And then we want to make sure that all these things are getting created in a solution, or if this is something that's, again, just going to be for maybe your proof of concept, but not for your enterprise app.
Yep. Really good call out. Well, take a look at the full release notes for Power Apps. We'll put that in the comments here, in the show notes here, and add a comment for what you'd like to see next. We've moved on to the Power Platform. So which of the Power Platform areas should we check out next? Let us know, and we will catch you next time on Power Tip.